Good morning, everyone. This is Shiva from Soundbucks Irrigation Design Services. Today, we are going to discuss about water efficiency, and hope you will enjoy this topic. If you have any doubts, you can ask me anytime. So let's get into the topic. So this is the soil water balance of the root zone. So when rain occurs, generally there is an deep percolation runoff. What is deep percolation? Deep percolation in the sense when rain occurs, some water gets infiltrated into the soil and then it will enter into the groundwater, so that the groundwater will increase. And runoff in the sense uh, some water run off along the surface, so that's called a runoff. So if when we are applying the irrigation, we should not allow the water to percolate below the root zone. So if we allow the water to percolate in the sense, then the water will be get wasted, so that automatically water efficiency will be decreases. Water efficiency in the sense the amount of water uh, plants used by amount of water we are applied. So these waters are plant, these water will be not be used by plants, so it will be get wasted and it will get into the groundwater. So if you in the runoff water also will not be useful by the plants, so we need to eliminate these two factors. If we are eliminating these two factors, then automatically water efficiency will be very very higher. So that we so how to maintain this, contain these factors. So that's why we are going to talk about field capacity and permanent melting point in the next slide. And hope you have aware of these terms, field capacity and permanent melting point. We have discussed about this lot in the previous sessions as well. So but yeah, I would like to discuss about this in these sessions as well. So before that, let me change to uh, laser pointer. So okay. First, when rain occurs, the soil profile will gets filled for the some days. It will be get filled like this. There will be no air. The every part of the soil contains water and soil particles. So there will be no air in between this. After the 2 to 3 days, after 2 to 3 days, uh, the water will start to get downwards. This is because of gravitational forces. So the gravitational force, this is called infiltration. When the gravitational force is higher than the when the gravitational force is higher than the attraction between the solid particles, the water will start to get inside the mm, inside the soil. It will enter into the groundwater. So after the soil gets infiltrated into the groundwater, it will come to this stage. There will be no infiltration movement. There will be zero infiltration movement. At that point is called field capacity, when there is no infiltration movement. That's what I discussed in this point. Water remains in the soil after removal of gravitational water. So the amount of water remains in the soil after the removal of gravitational water. That is called field capacity. There will be no downward movement in this condition. So this water is available to the plants. You can see this, there is also gases, there is also water, there is also soil particles. So this is a good condition for the plants to grow. If you are irrigating to up to the saturation level, then the plant will not be able to get some gases inside the soil, so it will not be good, it will not be good for plants. So we have to maintain the field capacity always. So so after the after the water gets evaporated or used by the plants, then the soil moisture will get depleted over the days. So once it reaches the permanent wilting point, so this is the point where plant will not able to extract any water from the surface. Even though it has some water, it has attracted to the solid surfaces very strongly, so plant will not able to the absorb water, these waters from the soil. So we need to irrigate again to come this level, to up to this level. So if you are irrigating again to this level, then the plant can able to absorb water from this. So we should not allow the water to deplete up to permanent wilting point. We should not irrigate up to this level. If we are irrigate from to this level to this level, then the water will get filtrated again and the water will be get wasted. So we should not irrigate it up to the saturation level. We should be able to irrigate up to the field capacity level. So that is the upper limit of the uh, irrigation water. So if we deplete up to this level, then we need to irrigate again immediately, so that plant will not die due to the water stress. So that's called permanent wilting. But at this point, plant don't able to absorb water from the soil. So in this point, plant cannot absorb any water from the soil, because there is very very lack of water in the soil. And we know that Depending upon the soil structure, this permanent wilting and field capacity will vary. We will discuss in this in the upcoming slides. So this is the general structure of soil profile. It has soil minerals and water and air. When we are, but we are not, we don't see like this. When we are having the soil profile, uh, everything get mixed in a single thing. We cannot able to differentiate this, but we can measure it by using the gravimetric method, which we have discussed in the previous sessions. We need to dry the soil and then measure the weight. We need to then subtract the previous wet soil and dry soil and measure the amount of moisture get evaporated. So that is the way to measure the water amount of water in the soil. So this content varies depend upon the soil. In sandy soil, this is very low. In clay soil, water is very high. Holding capacity is very high. So if you see this, so thanks to University of Florida, because they have provided this data of water holding capacity of different soils, and then they have done a lot of research uh, in soil water holding capacity, and they have released a lot of instruments to measure the soil moisture content. So if you see in sand, this volumetric soil moisture is very very low. So which means that uh, the water holding capacity is very very low in soil. That's why we cannot grow a lot of crops in in sandy soils. But yeah, many in many areas people started to grow plants in sandy soil as well. That is because of with the help of drip irrigation. And when you go to the sandy soil, then you can hold more water. If you see this, that water can hold soil can hold more water. In loamy soil we can also have more water. In silt soil we can get more than the loamy soil. In clay we can also get this amount of soil moisture. In 1 inch cube of soil we can up to 50%, 50 to 60% of the soil can be stored in the clay soil. So that is the uh, major advantage of having the clay soil. But infiltration rate is very very low in clay soil, so that uh, runoff will be very higher in clay soil. So that optimum condition to grow the plants is so loam and silty loam. So this is the good for every plant, because infiltration rate is also little bit higher, uh, and the soil will have the lot of soil will store a lot of water as well. So that's why we always encourage to use the loamy soils. And then, so this is the tabular value of previous chart. You can see this the clay, the available water storage in clay soil. The water content storage capacity is 0.21. It's very very higher. But if you see the sand condition, it is 0.08 compared to clay soil. Look at this difference between clay soil and sandy soil. So this is the major difference between clay and sandy soil. So if you see this in loamy soil, 0.18, even though it has little bit water holding, little lower water holding capacity than clay soil, it is good for lower plant growth. And it is in different values. This is in feet, this is in meter. So we just need to convert this from to this level. We just 0.21 into 2.54, we will get this value. So this is just a basic simple calculation to calculate this. And yeah, University of, again, this data is provided by the University of Florida. They have grown a crop in sandy soil, so they provided the data for that research. If you see this, this is in this side, it has amount of irrigation, depth of irrigation we have applied in inches, and then this is volumetric soil content, and this is the date. In 28th October, we have applied an irrigation up to the depth of 0.18 inches. So if you see this, the water holding capacity is more than the field capacity, which means the water will get drained. This orange zone is the danger zone. We should not up to see. This green zone is safe irrigation zone, as they have mentioned here. This is the safe irrigation zone. If we irrigate more than the safe irrigation, then the water will get infiltrated and it will get wasted. So the water efficiency will be very lower. And then again, in 29th October, they are again applying water to the 0.18 inch. And instantly, and in a few minutes, in a few hours, we will experience the 0.44 inches of rainfall. So that water will get, so water level in the soil moisture content get higher. So but this up to this level the water get infiltrated. Only this level will water will store in the soil. So this amount of water will get wasted, so the efficiency will be very very lower in the soil condition. And again we are again irrigating this water to this level, but this is not a good management practices. They are measured for this 0 to 6 inches depth under the plastic mulch conditions. Plastic mulch condition in the sense we are covering these soils with the plastics, so that there will be evaporation loss will be very very lower in this in those conditions, and then we will conserve a lot of water in that. And then again they are just allowing the water to deplete for a few days, so up to October 30 to um, November to they are just allowing the water to deplete, so water will, and then again they are applying up to the irrigation of 0.18 inch, then the water level gets increased suddenly, and then they are allowing the water to deplete to few, and then again they are irrigating. So this is not a good management practices, because there's a lot of water in the danger zone, so we should not allow this have happen. So if you see this in this lecture, they are just maintaining the water in the safe irrigation, so there will be no water loss due to the infiltration. So they are just keeping this level in the um, safe zone. So if you see, this is the soil moisture profile in soil water moisture in a profile. In when we have a full saturation level, water is up to this level. When filled capacity, the water will be up to this level, and when permanent wilting point, the water is up to this level. So we should not always allow the water to deplete up to the permanent wilting point. There is some maximum soil water deficit. So we can allow the water to deplete up to this level, and then again we are going to irrigate to up to the filled capacity level. So this is just the basic example of maintaining the water in soil. So if we see this, we are just having how to calculate the how much amount we need to irrigate the crop. Irrigate the crop. If you see this, this is a mature corn crop. The rooting depth is 0.9 meter. Let's say it has a 0.9 meter rooting depth, and then soil water capacity is for per meter. The water can hold up to 100 mm. When we are using the volumetric oil content, we can measure this. In the 1 meter of soil, the water can hold soil can hold 100 mm of water. So when we are calculating this, so 90 mm of water will be uh, can be hold in the soil in the 1 meter level in 1 meter rooting depth. So when the water depleted up to the 45 mm, then again we need to irrigate, because this is the maximum soil water deficit. We should not allow more than 50% water to deplete. And then this is the for same crop, but it is very small plant with the initial stage of the planting. So this rooting depth is just 0.30 mm. In larger plant, rooting depth is 90 mm, 0.90 mm, but in small plant 0.30 mm. So and the, so water you can hold we can hold up to 30 mm, so we need to only irrigate 15 mm of water. So this is the great example of water needs small amount of water in 10th in small size, and plant need more water in larger size. So if you see this is just an efficiency of different types of irrigation. You see this in surface irrigation, our efficiency is up to 65. That's all. And in sprinkle irrigation we get 75. In drip irrigation we get up to 88. Irrigation 80, subsurface 90% efficiency we are getting. Have you wondered about why the sprinkler irrigation is 75 efficiency and why micro irrigation is 90 efficiency? This is majorly because of you can see this when we are applying water to the through the drip sprinkler irrigation, we are just applying water to the whole area. So uh, so water will apply to the whole area, but in drip irrigation we just apply only to the near to the root zone only. The plant will use this route only, so that we are not irrigating this area. We are not irrigating this area, so this water will not be used by plants in which is supplied by the sprinkler irrigation. So the drip irrigation of so the efficiency of drip irrigation is very very higher. So hope you have understand something about this concept. If you have any doubts regarding this water efficiency, you can contact me. I can give you the quantitative approach, and I can give you the some mathematical calculation, and I can also give you the some practical understanding as well. So thank you once again. Bye bye. I hope we will meet you again tomorrow. Thank you.